The only word to truly describe Whiskey Kate is fighter. She has survived a traumatic brain injury, had to navigate her way through the music industry, which can be very daunting, and is now back making music with her new single, Hotter. She gives us a behind the scenes of what it's really like to be an independent artist doing everything for your brand. From creating the music, the look, doing the social media, and other marketing. She breaks down true country music and tells us the inspiration and deviation from tradition behind her new single. Now, let's get to business. Hey everybody, I am your host, Tatiana Ryan, and this is the Businessy Podcast. I am here today with an original, completely original, from her hair to her shoes to her music to everything else. She is a country Southern rock goddess. Whiskey Kate, thank you so much for being here with me today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's long overdue.
It's very long overdue, and you have been through top of the mountains to the troughs down below, and you are going to take us through everything because you have got such an amazing story. You started in 2013 with an independent label, and you were gaining so much momentum back then. Like I saw you were opening for Cassidy Pope and Lindsay L. You were all over the place. And then all of a sudden it was like, radio silence. Everybody was wondering where Whiskey Kate went. And you already have that music that's still out there, but now you have a new single, Hotter. Tell us what's been going on. Fill us all in with everything.
Okay. Well, so as you know, over the last 10 years, I've been on quite a journey of self-discovery and growth. But that's allowed me to hone my craft. And I've been learning from the best of the industry. And now I'm just ready to share my music with the world. So Hotter it's interesting because I have all this music that I haven't been able to share with the world and distribute and stream and get everybody to make reels and put on their channels, and the licensing, distribution, everything has changed so much. And there's so much of what I have that nobody else has yet. So get ready, because Hotter is just the start.
Now, you said that there is so much that you already have, and it seems like everybody's on that same boat right now where everything's kind of like backed up in the pipelines because the rules have all changed. Mm-hmm. Everything has changed within just the past 3 years.
Oh, absolutely.
Where do you go as an artist?
So up. You only go up. That's the great part about it. It's about being an artist. It's pushing those boundaries. It's adapting. It's growing. It's changing. And what I see is just other platforms to put the music out. And it's different because before, where everybody made their money and everybody did, where they got their exposure, it was touring. How you got your exposure was touring and going from place to place and gigging and getting all that done that way and getting fans that way, which is still an incredible way to meet people and to really connect. But now there's this whole online market for everyone to connect. And so with artists, I think sometimes maybe it could be a challenge because of the creative process and the raw and real feel of the energy and the shows, and that maybe sometimes they're not able to connect so much online as they would be in person. But I think this is a great opportunity for everyone to just find different ways to get creative and to find other platforms to just market themselves and put their music out everywhere.
Now, we were just talking about your old label that you were with was an independent label. What are you doing right now? Are you with a no label? Are you just doing everything independently? How's that going?
Well, right now, I think the most important thing is that whether I'm with a label or not, is that I am in full control of my music and my career. And I think any artist and any musician would agree with me that making decisions that align with my vision, my creative process, their creative process, their vision is, as an artist, is very instrumental and key to bringing great music and making sure that what I'm doing and the product of who I am, it speaks volumes. So it's not hindered. Like earlier, you and I were talking about so much it can get bogged down and controlled by other people controlling your branding, your business, and who you are. And that's the important part, is just making sure that I'm the one in control of my music and my career, and that it all aligns with me as an artist.
Bringing up the optics so much, and Taylor Swift has been such a catalyst in so many different ways, because she has been so broadcast everywhere with not only her music, but some of the controversies that have gone behind her when she kind of broke off from country music and went into a different genre. And then all the things with Scooter Braun and the control of her music, as you just said, where she literally just had to re-record everything because she held the copyright, but she didn't hold the originals as they held a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. Do you see yourself kind of taking that same kind of road where you may want to skip a genre, you may want to delve into something else, or as you are doing right now, you're deciding all of that?
Well, I will say Hotter is a very different take on what I normally put out, which was the point. I love it. It's actually a song a lot of my fans have heard before. And so it's fun to hear people go, "Oh my gosh, I love this new song. This is so incredible." And I laugh because I'm like, you've heard that song before. You just don't remember that you've heard this song before. You've heard it the same way. But it's so different because I'm such a passionate acoustic artist, and everything I create, everything I write, there's just that raw, real, and it really translates through my music. So this particular song, I wanted it to be different because how I wrote it, it doesn't give it justice, because it's a very simple song how I wrote it. And yes, it's sexy, and yes, it's fun, but it needed more. It needed something different. It needed a punch. And I think it aligns perfectly with what's going on in the music industry today. But also, I think it's fun. We all need some fun. And being an artist, I'm always evolving, and especially as a songwriter. So while I love and I respect country and Southern rock and my roots, I'm not afraid to explore new sounds and genres, because at the end of the day, I'm an artist. I'm not a genre.
I've had Hotter on repeat, and it is so much different. And you've delved into, like I said, different ways of recording also. Can you talk into like a little bit of the process of recording Hotter? Because you did do some different sounds and everything in there.
That was such a fun time when I was recording. I actually recorded in a friend's home studio when we did this. And I wish he was still making music. He was just starting out in producing, and he's not doing it anymore. And I loved the creative process because we were sitting there mixing and making it. And I'm like, no, do this. No, mix it with this. And no, add this. And no, I hate that. Add more bass. I was like, no, don't auto tune my voice here. No, keep my voice raw, but I want you to add it like it's in an old radio, or I'm in like some cool, like vintage, like music hall, or like somebody's working on their old hot rod and they hear this song come on in the summer heat and they like pop a top to their Dr. Pepper or Coca-Cola or whatever it is, like I wanted it to be something fun that like kind of made you go, all right, this is cool. And because bro country, like guys do it all the time, I say. So women, there's so many more women in the Southern rock country that are starting to get out there and make those fun summer jams that are sexy and fun. And this one, I think it was too early. So when I was in the studio recording it, I wanted it to sound with that different sound and those different saturations with the vocals and different bass lines. But it was fun because my guitar is still in there. It's just distorted. So every, from what I understand, because each track that I've ever played on or recorded with, I always keep the same guitar chord progression. So even if they record over it, my chords are still in there. So I was like, I don't care if you have to make them like super, super small, like, and you can barely, nobody can hear them. I still want them in there. And even if y'all are going to play over them, that's fine. But I want this. So it was a lot of fun because being in a home studio surrounded by a great family at the time, just, they were so great to be around, which is so different than going to a professional studio that you pay somebody and then they try, usually the producers, they'll try and take over your music or make it theirs. And I didn't have that experience. I had such a great experience recording this song. It was fun. It was hot. And I can see it going many places. I can see this being one of those things where you get addicted to and you just feel it. And it's one of those that you hear like in a country dance hall or even just a club. And you're like, okay, this has got some beat to it. This is different. This is fun. And I've always said that. I'm like, get this in a club, get this here. This will be fun. This is a good beat. Like, so when I dropped it, I was like, no, this is the first song I'm going to release coming out the gate because it's sexy, it's fun. And I was like, don't worry, there'll be more. There's plenty more coming. But I've got a plan. So, yeah.
Just last week, you had a pretty big accolade thrown at you from Virtuosity magazine. Just listed you with this first single, with Hotter, just listed you as one of the top 50 women with new releases in 2023. And I'm going to stop because the names that you are amongst: Dolly Parton, Avril Lavigne, Belinda Carlisle, Katy Perry, Lana Del Rey, Lucinda Williams, and up-and-comer Alana Springsteen. Like, how do you feel having that just pop up?
I mean,
take a deep breath.
Yeah.
You're back. You're back,
right,
baby.
Right. I will say that being listed among such incredible artists is an absolute testament to the hard work and dedication that I've put in. And it is an incredible, huge honor. But it's also a reminder to me that I've earned my place in the industry. And that I've faced challenges, but I've never let them stop me.
And that is such a great message because you have faced challenges, but you have not let them stop you. And you are back, girlfriend.
Oh,
This is
yes.
awesome.
Oh, yes.
Now let's talk about your look because I just brought up Dolly Parton, who also has a very distinct look.
Yes, she does.
She is a spitfire and we'll tell you where she got that distinct look from. Now, you are on stage with bright red hair, and today your lips are on fire. They're in fact glowing.
Yes, they are.
You're on stage with fishnets and a lot of times like not that goody two shoes look that everybody has in country music. Tell us where you get your inspiration from.
No, I will say that I feel like my look is a reflection of my personality and my music. I know it's bold, it's unique, and it's authentically me. So I draw inspiration from a variety of sources, but ultimately my look is a celebration of my individuality.
It's definitely individual. I love it. You are hard to miss, girl. Now, after the past 3 years, 4 years, where we've seen so much political division on social platforms, on, everywhere, even some people, getting on social media and saying they don't like your music or they don't like your look or they don't like anything. How do you deal with being an artist who's just trying to be out there making everybody have fun?
That's one of the reasons I came out of the gate with Hotter, because we have so much of that going on in the world that it is about having fun. It's a reminder just to not take things so seriously. And it's my job to bring joy and unity through my music, despite the challenges of the past few years. I've just stayed focused on that mission and to help people have a good time. And that's the goal. And everybody's going to have an opinion. That's life. But my focus is to create unity and joy. That is my focus.
Have you ever listened to a lot of the genres, especially country right now? And I've kind of felt this way a little bit, is that all the music's starting to sound the same. And you came out with Hotter out of the gate. That's so much different.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I was early. I feel like I'm like that with a lot of my music. Because when I write music, I hear everything all at once. I hear all the songs. I hear how it's already done. I can't play all the instruments. I wish I could. But the tough part about country is there's so many different, I feel like there's so many different genres with country. You've got red dirt country, you've got Texas country, you've got swing country, you've got outlaw country, you've got classic country, you've got bro country, you've got best female country. Like there's so many different subcultures of genres with country music. For me, that's tough because I don't think they all sound the same. I think they all have their own distinct sounds. Just like when you talk about the women of country, they all have their own niche with how they sound. And just like with the guys, same thing. I will say some of my favorites, like when I go for guys, I'll on the radio, if I'm like, I'm like, hey, Chris Stapleton, Cody Johnson, or Morgan Wallen radio, like, and I'm not throwing those out there to like promote anybody, but like it's that kind of sound because I like that raspy sound. I enjoy that very much so. And because I'm that way, I'm very raspy, I'm very passionate, and I like being able to sing Chris Stapleton songs because I can sing his songs. So, but so for me, I don't think they all sound the same because they all have their distinct differences. I think sometimes people can get caught up in the loops of trying to sound the same. Like, oh, well, I want to sound like this guy because he made this hit. But that would be with any genre. That would be like with Post Malone or with Kenny Chesney. Like, I know they're two different people, but that would be like any kind of rapper. Like, oh, I want this guy because his beat was like mine. So for me, because I've been thinking about that, and I think maybe as a musician, I just hear the music maybe differently. I think it can sound the same if you don't listen to other things than just that particular music and that particular station. But that's why I think it's so good for people to branch out and try and listen to all different kinds of music because there's so much to choose from. And there's so many independent radios out there as well. It's unheard of for independent artists to be on major streaming platforms. It's gotten to be a lot easier. I will say I have been shocked by the process of Hotter making it on all the major streaming platforms and how excited I am because it's been approved all across the board with all the major streaming platforms, and that's unheard of for me anyway. And somebody else can balk at it and say, oh no, that's easy. Okay, well, maybe it was for you, but for me, this is incredible. This is huge. It's just like with that magazine. I was so honored by that. And it's only because of the hard work and the fans and all the dedication and the support that they've had by wanting my music out there so they can listen to it and be a part of this journey that has brought it full circle.
Do you think social media has changed a lot of that, where people are now kind of going away from that mainstream? They're not listening to the radio as much. They're going to the Spotify or the Amazon, and just making their own playlist, or just letting things roll out there to see what comes up. I mean, yesterday I was on a TikTok live and somebody introduced me to another artist also, you know?
Oh yeah. Well, that's so I have found some really great artists on Instagram. Just scrolling through and I'm like, oh, I like that. Oh, I like that. That's cool. Where and then I'd go in on iTunes and I'd look it up. And my friend's like, you're on iTunes? I'm like, I'm on everything. I'm on Spotify, I'm on Pandora, I'm on iHeart, I'm on this, like I'm on all of them. But and so I think it's important to be able to discover artists everywhere. But absolutely, I think radio, because people just they don't have radios in their houses anymore, and in their cars that there's not a lot of that going on. And if they do, it's just the major networks. It's not like it was, that's for sure. Unless you're in the country and then you depend on those radios, that's for sure. But more and more I think it's going to the streaming services than regular radio stations.
Developing your audience with your sound, as you had just said, you're scrolling through Instagram, and how important is it for you to stay on all of these platforms and be up to date with your information and be posting constantly, which it's a job within itself.
Full-time job. It is a full-time job. And that is one of the things that I was doing a lot of stuff before that artists weren't doing when it came to social media and marketing and as an indie artist, and my platforms before it was necessary, I guess that's a good way to put it. But it is a full-time job, and it is constant, and you have to stay on it, because we as people, that's where everybody lives. You look around and everybody's on their phone. Everybody's just swipe up. Everybody's looking, everybody's sharing. And I'm excited because I have so much to share. And the more other people share my single and get it trending, and there's so many great things coming that I just want it to get out there, so that the more I'm sharing, and I'm sure people are sick of it, and I hope they continue to get sick of it, because I'm going to continue to share and continue to roll things out. And it's interesting because you talk about people on social media. It's a whole different beast now. It's not like going to a concert and seeing me play. It's not like that. It's all about content. It's all about making sure people are streaming your music. It's making sure that the videos are relevant. It's making sure that people are sharing, liking, following. I will say that one of the biggest things is your friends supporting you as an independent artist, friends and family sharing your music, showing other people your music. That is huge. And when they don't, you're like, are you really my friend?
That's true.
Because it's a way of life. It's a way of life. And for me, this is my purpose. I was put on this planet to do music. There's no getting around that. So, yeah.
Hotter was released on June 30th.
Yes.
And you just said there's a lot more that we're going to be hearing from and seeing from you.
Mm-hmm.
What are your plans? What's in the future? Are we having live shows? What are we doing?
Well, with the release of Hotter, I'm excited to share more of my music with the world. So I've got a plan and I'm ready to execute it. So for now, that's what everybody gets to know. And it's coming. It's all coming, but there's a whole plan for this next year. I am booking for 2024. That is one of the things that if people are wanting for me to play shows and things like that, they can definitely reach out and email and see what our schedule looks like for that. I am doing a lot more songwriter showcases, a lot more. I love my acoustic shows. Those are my favorite. I'll never stop doing acoustic shows. I'm not a live band kind of gal. You can ask my fan base. That's just not me as a performer. Just because as a songwriter, that's how I express myself, is just me and a guitar. So being able to get in the studio and to create music like Hotter and like evolve those songs is the coolest thing ever. It's such a fun way to make art and bring it to life, because it's like I start with this canvas and I it's just black and white, and then all of a sudden somebody gives me color and I'm able to add color to it. And it doesn't mean that I'm not this great acoustic artist that can just play and sing my guitar. It means that I'm just adding color to what I've already made. So there's more stuff coming, and I will drop a hint that my other single, that my first single that's been out for a while, Chains, that people can be looking for on the horizon, a better sounding version of that coming very soon.
Oh goodness, we are getting tidbits here. All right, where can everybody find you on social media and all of that?
So I am very active on social media, and I love connecting with everyone, especially all my fans. And I'm always, again, looking for opportunities to perform and share my music live. So you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. My website, whiskykate.com, has all the information on it as well. It's a one-stop shop. And yeah, you can find me on every streaming platform: Pandora, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Tidal, you name it, I'm on it. Amazon Music, yeah. And on my website as well, whiskykate.com, all my links to my music are on that as well. So they can just click on that and go. But yes, please like, follow, share. And I mean, it takes an army, and I am so grateful just to be here with you today and how we've connected over the years. And it's been, this is so surreal that we're doing this now, like where our where I've seen our lives go. And I'm really honored to be here today. So thank you for having me. And thank you. This is my first releasing Hotter. And so thank you.
No, thank you.
Very appropriate.
I hope you will come back and let us know what is on the horizon, especially for 2024 and live shows, because we are getting back to wanting to be out in the public again and seeing those live shows.
Yes, I think I will let you know. I have possibly, once I have the announcement and it's confirmed of a tour coming up, I will let you know.
Awesome. All right. So in the meantime, everybody just needs to go get Hotter. It's on all the platforms. I will connect all the, especially your website, on this podcast itself. So I am Tatiana Ryan. This is Whiskey Kate. Thank you so much for being here today. I greatly appreciate it. Giving a little bit of an insight as to more of the independent music realm.
Yes. Thank you for having me on your show today. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Kate. Have a great day, everybody.